Good morning, Bachman Middle School. Today is Tuesday, December 7th. It is an A day. It is a band day 5, and I am Mr. Strand with today's Tiger Talk. First up, it's time for our word of the week. This week's word is precise. Precise means to be accurate, exact, and careful about details. As many of you may know, today is the 80th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Precisely 80 years ago today, Japanese forces bombed U.S. naval bases at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. 5 years ago, to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the bombing, the National World War II Museum interviewed Jimmy Lee. Jimmy Lee was 11 years old and living on the island when the attack on Pearl Harbor occurred. 75 years later, he shared his memories of that attack. Here's a little bit of that interview with Mr. Lee.
You know, here in this fish pond, this is where I grew up.
So what were you doing up here on the morning of the attack?
You know, I grew up on a farm right here, and that morning I was feeding the pigs. That's my job. Look at that coconut tree. See how high it is? Well, that plane just came over our pig pen, just that high. When I looked up there were hundreds of planes, flying, and it was so fascinating to me. I never saw so many planes in all my life.
So were you scared when you realized that it wasn't a show and that it was Hawaii being under attack?
No. Was I scared? The answer is no. It was exciting. It was so interesting.
So did you and your family hide after they realized it was Japanese?
Well, we watched for about over an hour and a half. And that's when the loudspeakers come by and they said, hey, we're at war. We've been bombed by the Japanese. You know what we did? We took off up into the mountains up there, up in the valley, hid out in the caves. Then we came back home and the attack was over. Less than 3 hours was over. And one of the things that happened that afternoon, of course, was martial law came in effect. And with martial law, we had curfews, we had rationing and everything else. But then from that day on, it was fear. It was fear.
Although Jimmy was unharmed, 68 civilians were killed during the attack. Neighborhoods like this one were damaged by enemy fire.
Thank you to the National World War II Museum and to the late Jimmy Lee for sharing his memories. One last thing about the attack on Pearl Harbor before we move on. The attack occurred at precisely 7:55 a.m. That's 7:55 a.m. Hawaii time, which is 11:55 here in Minnesota. 7th graders will be at lunch at 11:55, of course, so we're not going to do any kind of announcement over the loudspeaker. But if you happen to look at a clock at precisely 11:55, remember all those who fought and lost their lives at the attack on Pearl Harbor. Moving on, today is also Literacy Tip Tuesday, so here's Mrs. Castle with today's reading strategy. Take it away, Mrs. Castle.
Hello readers and welcome to the Literacy Lowdown. I'm Mrs. Castle and here with me I have
Ren and Sandy,
Nico, Estella. And they are with me today because we are cooking something up here. We are cooking up how to preview nonfiction text. Chef's kiss, everyone. All right, now let's dig into it. All right, so I actually brought an article today. So take a look there. So the first step here is the title of the article. We did get this article from an 8th grade geography class.
Shout out Miss Reese, Miss Lund,
Woo, woo.
Mr.
I said
Mr. Lund, not Miss Lund.
There it is.
Sorry,
Hey,
Miss
why
Lund.
not Miss Lund too?
Yeah, Miss Lund, you're
Yeah.
part of this.
So this is from an 8th grade geography class. You can use this with any nonfiction that you are working with. All right, so the first thing is the title. Someone give me the title.
Physical geography.
All right, and then it looks specifically, it's going to be about what?
Mexico.
Mexico's Pacific Coast. Okay, cool. All right, take the title and put it in there.
Key it up.
Good. What are the headings?
Yeah.
We got
Critical thinking.
We got
wait.
we got to go back. What are the headings?
Physical features.
Okay.
Bodies of water.
Nice. Flip it.
Plateaus and mountains.
Nice. Next page.
It's coastal lowlands
Okay.
and climate and
Vegetation.
And then yours, Nico.
Natural resources.
All right.
Good
so
job,
now
Nico.
we've got the put this one in. All right. Now we've got the key vocabulary words. So Estella, could you read the vocabulary words that we'll be dealing with here? The Rio
Bravo,
Mhm.
Baja California,
Okay.
Gulf of Mexico,
Yucatan.
Yucatan Peninsula,
Peninsula.
Peninsula,
Mhm.
Sierra, like the store.
Madre. All right, so those, and these sort of look like places almost, right? All right, let's put the vocab in there. Let's look through and see what kind of visual aids are included. So if you turn the page here, what's this first one here?
It's a map of Mexico.
Okay.
Mexico physical.
Features.
Okay, and then what's this one here?
Yeah, I think that's the mountains of Mexico.
Okay, it's just a picture.
Yeah.
What's that, a
Yeah.
picture of just the mountains?
Yeah.
Okay. Next page, what else do we have for visual aids?
All right, let's see what we got here. We got
Mexico climate.
the climate of Mexico.
Okay, like a map with a, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then what's this a picture of?
Yeah.
Yeah, the climate.
Yeah.
The southern beaches.
Yeah.
Good, and I think there's
The
one more.
environment.
There you go, Brandon. All right, I like it. And oh, and last page, what's that? That just looks like,
Countries.
yeah, something like that. Right, now,
Yeah.
lady and gentlemen, based off of the title and the headings that we just read and the graphics and pictures we looked over, what do you think this article is going to be about based off of all of that?
Mexico.
Mexico's physical features, natural resources, climate,
All that,
stuff about it.
all that
It's
good
stuff you can learn.
Nice, excellent. Okay, somebody put that in there. Nico wants to put that in there. We'll mix it up a little bit.
Dang, you
You got a
chef.
spoon? Give him a spoon. Mix it
Mix
up.
it up, mix it up, mix it up.
It's not plugged in. Here's one. What's one question that you have before reading this? Like, what would be one question that you have about reading this? Before we read this, what's one question?
What's Mexico's
Physical features.
main physical features?
Ooh, okay. So, like,
I got
what?
one.
What's yours, Nico?
What is Mexico's climate like in the summer?
Okay. I want to know, before I read this, I want to know, like, how much it rains, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't go, like, does it ever rain? How cold does it get? You know, do you ever have to pack a sweatshirt? Probably not,
Yeah.
right? When you go to Mexico.
Yeah, it's a little hot down there.
All right, someone throw it in. That was a good question. Estella, throw it in.
Like
Hasta
some,
la vela.
All right, now last
Hallelujah.
thing. Mix it up. Last thing. Did you guys know anything about this topic before
Yes.
reading this
I
article?
mean, no.
It's okay if you did.
I didn't know anything.
You know anything about Mexico?
No.
Its climate? Nothing.
I just know that it's like down.
So it's probably going to be what? We obviously
Pretty
know
hot.
that. We know when you think Mexico, you think what as far as weather?
Pretty
Hot.
cold. Hot.
Pretty hot.
I said warm in
Okay.
the middle there, because in the morning it might be cold. I mean, you don't know.
So we already kind of have an
So let's
idea.
live there.
We have an idea of what it's
Shout
like.
it to you.
All right, let's put it in there. All right, mix it up.
Freedom day.
That was the last one, by the way, folks.
All right.
Can I put some salt in there, just to give it a little flavor?
Yeah, you can pretend to. Now these aren't for anything. While he's mixing, we can just have a marshmallow. There you go. Here, grab one.
I'm dumb.
These are just, you have gum in. Well,
So just fake eat it.
all right. So you mix it all up. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you preview a nonfiction text. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
All right. You can do that too. Anytime you read nonfiction, it makes it so much easier.
Um.
All right. We'll see you again next time for another literacy.
See you guys.
Lowdown.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Castle. That's all for today. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow with more Tiger Talk.